I'll just say I think Mauricio's doing David no favors with this. The way you get what would be good for boxing and would be good for Benavides and OPETAIA and everybody involved is to let Benavides go ahead and fight for the interim title against the Polish interim champion, Michael Sislak. Probably not pronouncing his name right either. Let Benavides fight for the interim title. Let Mikhailian defend his WBC title. And eventually mandate Benavides as the interim champion for the winner of Mikhailian OPETAIA, which is going to be OPETAIA. And that's how you get undisputed for all 4 belts. But of course, it won't work this way. But Mauricio has to be careful, Raheem, because just like the IBF's being slapped with a lawsuit, he could be slapped with a lawsuit because he has no legal precedence here that may not hold up in court, because you let David be the interim champion for Canelo Alvarez for 2+ years or so, never mandated that fight. Mikhailian just won the title in December. He's still well underneath the 12-month window that he must be mandated to face a fighter, and Jamal Charlo had multiple years without having to defend his WBC belt before he eventually got stripped. And here you are, you're about to strip the Mikhailian. That might get dicey if someone really pushes the issue with him on that.
Wow. I absolutely love that right there, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, before we get into exactly what Sean ZITTEL had to say, I want y'all to do me a favor. Follow the man on his YouTube channel. The dude has under 50,000 subscribers. This is a guy who should be up to 300,000 subscribers. Straight up. Sean ZITTEL, I love the fact that he's bringing up Jai OPETAIA and David Benavides' situation and is arguing on Jai OPETAIA's half. Not just for his own agenda, but for the agenda of boxing. I don't understand how we can have boxing fans, let's just say David Benavides supporters. I don't understand how they wouldn't want to see their fighter face the likes of Jai OPETAIA. It seems like there's a push when it comes to David Benavides fans, a push to allow David Benavides to do whatever the hell he wants. Everybody is fine if you're a David Benavides fan, the way that things are going right now. And I'll be honest with you, bro, it's whack. For the sport of boxing, the fans, the best thing to happen right now is exactly what Sean ZITTEL just broke down. Y'all really want to see Noel Mikhailian get stripped of his title so that way David Benavides could go in there, fight for the vacant title. Y'all want to see that happen. To hate on Jai OPETAIA. Why? One of the biggest reasons why a lot of people hate on him right now is because he's a Zuffa fighter. Y'all want this to happen so David Benavides could get one step closer to becoming an undisputed champion, but without facing the best, if not the second best, whatever you want to call him, the best fighter in that cruiserweight division. To me, watching David Benavides, if he were to become undisputed champion in this division without facing the likes of Jai OPETAIA, on paper, it means something. But when you watch the sport of boxing and you keep up with the sport of boxing and you know how the sanctioning bodies move, ladies and gentlemen, I will have never considered David Benavides the best in that division at that current time due to one fact, and that's the fact that they don't want to get in the ring with Jai OPETAIA. I'm not saying that David loses to Jai, but it's about proving the facts, proving what's real. And if you're sitting here telling me that guys like Michelle Chalet, guys like Chris Billiam-Smith, guys like Noel Mikhailian, if you're sitting there telling me that those were the best fighters in the division when David Benavides became the undisputed champion, y'all are completely false. It's the same thing that y'all would argue for David Benavides when it came to the talks of Canelo Alvarez. Do y'all not understand that? Canelo became a 168-pound undisputed champion. And what did the David Benavides fans argue? This is all corruption. Canelo don't want to fight David Benavides. Canelo, not the true best 168-pound fighter in the world. Y'all argue about Canelo Alvarez and David Benavides' situation when they're doing the same goddamn thing to Jai OPETAIA. Ladies and gentlemen, why would you want to see Noel Mikhailian stripped of his WBC title due to the fact that he's going to go face Jai OPETAIA? Wouldn't you want to see Jai OPETAIA have an opportunity to this title so that way we can get the David Benavides fight for a fact? This is a fight that the boxing fans want to see. But it's you, David Benavides supporters, it's you, the WBC, who is allowing moves like this to be made, which is crippling the sport of boxing. Instead of talking about in the cruiserweight division, the biggest fight that could be made, an absolute pay-per-view, a huge fight, Jai OPETAIA versus David Benavides, y'all are cool with this fight not happening. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean ZITTEL's point is absolutely fantastic. And I understand, look at bro, I understand Radio Raheem's point, I understand. There's nothing that we can really do when it comes to this. Why? Because Mauricio Solomon, who was petitioned by David Benavides' team, ordered Noel Mikhailian to face this man next, rather than letting David Benavides fight Michel Select for the interim title and allow Noel Mikhailian to hold this title and defend against Jai OPETAIA. Sean brings up a bunch of areas and times when the WBC has showed us corruption, allowing certain champions to never defend their goddamn title for 3 goddamn years. Why? Because of suicidal attempts. Mauricio Solomon used that and said, hey, I didn't know what to do. Y'all let David Benavides sit around for 2 goddamn years as the interim champion and never forced nothing. It's crazy how the David Benavides fans went from the way that they were during the situation with Canelo to now acting like Canelo, bruh. David is acting like Canelo. And this is coming from a guy who supports David Benavides. But I watch the sport of boxing and I see the moves that are being made. And I'm a fan. I'm a hardworking, paying fan that sees things like this get absolutely just ruins the sport. I understand that this fight has already been ordered, and based off of rules, they can't strip WBC champion Noel Mikhailian. But when has the WBC ordered something and not pulled back from that order? When is the WA? Last time I remember, Lester Martinez and Christian Mabili were supposed to have an automatic rematch that was ordered by the WBC. What happened with that? Ladies and gentlemen, these ordered fights, the decision can change. WBC President Mauricio Solomon has the power. It's not like David Benavides and these guys are going to go sue the WBC. Y'all know that for a fact. Y'all know the relationship that they got. So why can't WBC President Mauricio Solomon allow Noel Mikhailian to face Jai OPETAIA for the WBC bout, therefore allowing David Benavides to fight Michel Select for the interim title, and then we will get that fight. Instead, y'all rather be happy David Benavides getting that WBC vacant title against a nobody, and then possibly winning the IBF title without having to fight anybody. And that's it. I hope Jai OPETAIA wins the IBF lawsuit, ladies and gentlemen. I hope he does, because the way that boxing is moving, it don't seem like they want the David Benavides versus Jai OPETAIA fight. And that's the honest goddamn truth. And I'm happy that guys like Sean ZITTEL out there are speaking up for this, because there's not a lot of people that are speaking up to this because they're scared of the backlash that they're going to get. They're scared of some of these delusional boxing fans. Bro, straight up, I speak the real here. I speak nothing but facts. OPETAIA should be reinstated as the IBF Cruiserweight Champion, and I don't give a how what anybody says. Aaron McKenna is the IBF Champion now. Why was Jai stripped? Because collusion. Facts are facts, bruh. Stop being delusional. Shout out to Sean ZITTEL. This is the MMA Boxing Addicts channel coming at you with rage. Because what's going down with Jai OPETAIA, as a fan of the sport of boxing, bruh, this is the type of stuff that ruins the sport. And it's the fans that don't say nothing, that don't speak up, that are happy with this move. Because y'all as David Benavides fans, y'all don't care if this man is tested or not. It's diabolical, bro. It's diabolical. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.